I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I didn't ask you, Hayden. Some 20 odd years ago, did you ever imagine that saying you hate sand in a scene in Attack of the Clones would follow you for decades?
I
Did you
had
feel
no
that in the
idea.
moment?
I had no idea. No. And I always enjoyed that scene, and I appreciated sort of where the sentiment was coming from. And it was sort of a powerful metaphor for his sort of the sort of uncomfortableness of his upbringing in a lot of ways. But yeah, people really took to that line.
If you're at the beach, does any jerk like me come over and be like, "Hey, dude, I thought you
What are you
hate
doing here?
sand"? Yeah.
I think you said
I've
to me
gotten that a
like
couple
when you came
times.
to set, when you came to set to do the World Between Worlds, and he gets there and he's standing there in the Anakin Clover's outfit, looks amazing. And I walked up to him, and I think you go to me, I think I remember this right. You go, "Sand, really?" Like, your
I
whole
thought maybe
segment
I'd offended you or
was
something
just sand.
in a
I hadn't
previous
even thought of
We're
scene.
it.
I was
doing
like, oh,
this
this is
again,
great. He's
I
just
thought
really?
it was
covered the
so
entire
funny.
set in sand,
Yep.
and we
It's
got to run
triggered.
through it.
Everyone
Yeah.
gets these elaborate sets, and you got just sand on the floor. But
That's
you know
right.
what's funny? You mentioned about their relationship being built on the Clone Wars, etc. But
Yeah.
the way I look at it, right, and when I wrote it, it's no different than when I watched A New Hope and Obi-Wan confronted Vader. That relationship is predicated
True.
on an entire history that they
Yep.
had in the Clone Wars that I'm only briefly introduced to with Obi-Wan talking to Luke about it. But it's really key to the whole thing. And so in the series, I do set that up when Hera mentions Ahsoka's mentor and she brings up, "You never finished my training." You're getting all the clues that if this is the only show you've ever watched, you understand, oh, that's her mentor,
Right.
right? And now she's going to confront this, and this has been a hang up for her because it's been in the previous episodes. And whether let's imagine that like you have no idea who Darth Vader is, right? Because I know it's hard, but because of the design of it, right? Because of the red lightsaber, because of the iconic look of it, people know that's an evil incarnation. So
Probably
you
not a good dude. Yeah. Yeah.
right, you don't need to know, but if you do, of course, it's better. And I think about it quite a bit now, how it's so strange now as a Star Wars kid that they can watch A New Hope, hear Obi-Wan talk about the Clone Wars, and literally go and watch it.
Right.
Where for me, I was like, what in the world is a Clone War? How did
Right.
that even work? I had no idea I'd be the person later on to actually make that happen. But it's, it's an interesting thing. Like they have so many options to view this history and go down this spiral of endless Star Wars. It's interesting compared to where we started, where I saw episode 4 and I was like, "Dad, why didn't you tell me there were these movies?" And he's like, "But this is the only one." I'm like, "But Dad, it's episode
Where's
4."
where's the cinematic universe? Come on.
Yeah,
Um,
no such word back then.